Stand by to see cars at more than 210 miles an hour blasting their way down the strip. F1 has taken over. It's F1 Fever, Las Vegas.
Good evening everybody and welcome to Delta T Racing Thursday Night Division 2, and we are coming this week round number 5 from Las Vegas, so just before the actual Grand Prix. We will see our Division 2 drivers racing around the Las Vegas Strip. So jumping out onto quali, who is the first one out? Looks like it's an Alpine. I'd like to jump on with the first person out, which is going to be Stuart tonight. Quickly pop up the table while we're waiting. As you can see, Hammers currently leading the way, actually completed a hat-trick of victories last time out. So he has won the last 3 races. Only other race winner we've had this year is J5 Gaming. So Hammers leading the way from Hummer, then Kazingle in 3rd, J5 Gaming in 4th, Connor in 5th after a good 3rd place last time out. TGL Stewart in 6th, Bogorowski 7th, Kavolis 8th, Little Mikey rounding out the top 10. Let's jump back to the action as we are now coming round towards the start finish line. What we will do is we'll just pop up the information on the jokers. As you can see on the right hand side, the 3 in blue, Bogorowski, Havoc, Connor and Berserk, are all looking to serve their joker tonight. So it'll be 1 out lap, retire and start from the back of the grid, but any points they gain in the race will be doubled. So let's move that off, go back on board with TGL Stewart. Coming down the first short straight here up into the tight section here. It's quite technical, this one, and the left-hander here trying to pick your braking point so I've not actually played it on the F1 24 game, but on 23 it was very difficult to pick your braking point going into that left right left complex there. So Stuart now coming round, ready to jump onto the huge start finish line here. Noticed his teammate just ahead, Connor. Is Connor looking to give him a tow? I think he is. Certainly give him some of the slipstream. The DRS is on Connor. I'm not sure if he's giving a tow to him or not. I think he certainly benefited him. But anyway, Stuart now coming into the left, right at the end of the straight. Just a small straight, flat out left-hander. And Stuart takes provisional pole, 132.299, with Hammers just behind 32.587, Ralph 32.787, and Hummer coming across 32.8. So we've got a few gaps there. Connor retiring, obviously did his 1 out lap, playing his joker tonight. So it gave a bit of a tow to his teammates. Nothing wrong with that on your out lap if you can work it and do it. Right, let's have a look. Who have we got? Let's have a look. See, Composite on an out lap, and Skipper just about to start one, or has started one, should I say? Sorry. About halfway round. Just trying to see who else is on a lap at the moment. Just Skipper and Composite, really. So we've got a few going round, but I think they are just heading back to the pits, put themselves a fresh set of tyres on and go out for run number 2. Potential of 3 runs. Some like to just do 2. It's not as if you need to save any tyres for qualifying 2 or qualifying 3, seeing as we only just have the one at 18 minutes. Got Hammers is coming into the pits. Then we've got the Red Bulls of Ralph and Hummer. Looks like they've been working a tow fairly nicely. Got the Williams of Scully and Double. Scully seemed to forget where the pit lane was there. And the Aston Martins coming around now. Jack putting a slow lap there, 3 seconds off. Right, so where did Skipper ended up in 9th? So the next person out is going to be his teammate Composite, which should be coming across the line now. See if he can look for supremacy in the Sauber, and he can't, just behind. So 34.674. So Mikey just on an outlap, and Wazza just about to leave the pits. So little Mikey, shout out to him for getting his first pole position at DTR last week. Didn't realise it was his first one, but of course it was in the main race at Imola. So it's had a few wins, but I think that was his first official pole position. Okay, so Mikey should, well, has started his first lap, so around the first couple of corners onto the straight. So he doesn't have a split to put himself up against at the current time. I noticed Kazingle and Stewart are out as well. Is that Jack slow? No. No, he's just about there, just about to start their laps, I think. So let's keep an eye here, and it looks like Mikey putting in a purple sector 1. So whether that is 100% true, we are not sure. I've seen someone before take 3 purple sectors and end up 3rd position. So it doesn't necessarily tell the truth, but nevertheless he is doing pretty good. Purple sector 2 as well. Sure who that is in front of him, but he'll be getting a nice tow off of it. Looks like the Mercedes of Berserk. A bit of an unwitting tow there to little Mikey, flat out now down the main straight. Anchors on the brake, left hand, cut that corner as a curve as much as you can. To the left, flat out again, and we are now onto a flat out. Currently 32.299 is the target time by TGL Stewart. We'll see what Mikey can do at 32.389. So just ever so slightly slower, and that's his qualifying over for the day. So Mikey will not improve on the 32.389. We're currently sitting in 2nd place. Wazza, his teammate, now coming round to complete his lap. Where's Stewart? Stewart a little bit further back. He's ever so slightly down on his time. Who else do we have out? Hammers is further back. Hammer. Trying to find out who the next person across the line is. I think is it Stewart? Stewart has crossed the line, so he will be going for another lap. Right, Wazza. Let's see what time Wazza can put on the board. His teammate 32.3. He puts in a 32.8, so into 5th place. Does have the luxury of running again, whereas his teammate does not. Okay, so 3 retirements from qualifying, but they are obviously the 3 taking their jokers this round. Red Bull coming round that Hummer. It's 4/10 up on his time, 32.2. Pips Mikey and jumps up into second position. Didn't notice Stewart actually improved on a 32.048, so he managed to find another quarter of a second. So Daniel just crossing the line. Notice Daniel was going to take his Joker today, but then sort of pulled out of doing it today. Must have had his reasons for that, but Las Vegas is quite a good track to take your Joker. Obviously that big long straight DRS able to pull through. You can get a bit of a DRS train, but if you're sort of third in that inner train, you really can get yourself a good slingshot if you get off the corner nicely. Okay, enough of my jabbering. Who are we looking at? Daniel's round there. Jack's about to start a lap, so needs to find about a second and a half to put himself up into onto the front row of the grid. A bit further round, who have we got? So Hummer is on a slow down lap. Then we have the second Aston Martin of Daniel, who is also on a slow down lap. Brother Adam, excuse me, just ever so slightly down on his current time. Wow, in 8th there, absolutely draining his ERS. Hard on the brakes, left, over the curbing here, flat out again, and now it's a sprint to the line. You use all of the rest of the ERS. Or you can just pull into the pits. Scully has invalidated, so won't be setting a time. Jack will be just behind. Jack going round, start finish line 32.8, so 7th position for him. 5 minutes to go, so he's still going to get a run from most people. Hammer's just about to start a lap, so let's actually jump on board with someone rather than jump in between. Stewart on an outlap as well, looking to improve on that 32.048, see if he can get him down into the 131s. But looking good for Red Bull, currently 2nd and 3rd position. Obviously Mikey still holding on to 4th place, but taking no further part in practice after crashing at turn 1 on his cool down lap after setting his initial time there. Hammer's in 5th, looking to improve as a current championship leader, 3 wins on the bounce. Go down the Las Vegas Strip. You'll be seeing that this weekend. On the telly anyway, not in person. So looking at a good complex there, see how he has dealt with it. What's his time going to be? Currently 132.587, and he improves to 132.383. So moves himself up into 4th, so does leapfrog Mikey, but not threatening the front row of the grid at the moment. Jack coming into the pits, and a bit further back we have Composite just coming around. I think it's to complete his lap, looking at the amount of DRS that he's drained, and a 35.429, so no improvement there unfortunately for Composite. Stewart now coming round to the main straight. We'll have a quick look at his time, see where he is. He is up by half a second. My God, we could be looking at a low 31 here if he can nail this final sector. That will put him to quarters of a second ahead of Ralph. Ralph in the pits, so he's not looking to leave at the moment, but let's just jump on this. Could be an absolute stonking lap from Stewart. So he has been really quick this year. Just hasn't had the best of luck, and you know, a couple of incidents here, a couple of self-induced. 31.598, so there we go. That is 3/4 of a second pretty much between him and his nearest competitor. But as I was saying, Stewart has had, you know, he's had mega pace this year. It's just been a little bit unfortunate with incidents. If he can steer clear of that tonight, he will be one of the men to watch. Obviously you've got the likes of Hammers, Lil Mikey Wazza, Ralph can be up there, Hummer is normally up there, Brother Adam, Daniel. We've got a really good group as well. Now you can't count out reigning champion Bogorovsky, starting from 16th and last on the grid, playing his Joker. Composite coming in. So who do we have on a lap? Anybody? Looks like Hummer is or was on a lap, but when he's up on his time, I think he's not going to have enough ERS to make this. Whereabouts are we with Scully? Scully just into section here. See what his time is compared to his last split. Current best 32.892 in 9th position. A couple of good results last week as well. I think picking up a 6th and a 7th. Obviously we have the sprint race, but a fairly strong weekend from Scully. Has improved season on season, and yeah, he's regularly threatening for a decent amount of points now. So here we go, on to the brakes at the end of the start finish, avoiding that curb completely. And now flat out, we'll see where he is. So currently at 32.8. I don't think he's going to threaten that here. 32.8, so yeah, roughly about the same time. So Scully cements his 6th place for the minute. Hummer is coming into the pit, so that's the end of Hummer for today. He will not get ahead of Stewart, but I mean Stewart's tyre. Hummer did put it to 31.9 though, again completely missing that whilst I was looking at everybody else. Daniel now the next to cross the line. Time is up, so this is going to be the final run. Final position 32.6. Daniel goes up into 6th place and displaces Scully. We then have Scully's teammate Double. He's now around the flat out left-hander. Can he improve? 33.038, taking Jack 32.618, so a slight improvement on his time. Brother Adam 32.7, again improving on his time. Ralph, didn't see if he actually improved on his time or not. Wazza coming across 32.722. So who do we have left? That is it. Scully will be coming into the pit. So TGL Stewart taking pole position with a 31.598. Hummer only the second man into the 31s, 131.905. And then we've got Ralph in 3rd and Hammers in 4th. So as I say, good so far for Red Bull in 2nd and 3rd position. Little Mikey holding on to 5th. It's a shame, would have liked to have been able to see him complete qualifying, because I think he could have improved on that position. But we'll just wait for Scully to be pushed into the garage, and then we'll get the classified results. And here we are, confirmation pole position going to TGL Stewart, Hummer taking second, Ralph, and Hammers taking the second row of the grid. Little Mikey in fifth, Kazingle in sixth, Daniel seventh, eighth goes to Wazza, ninth, Brother Adam, 10th, Scully, 11th, Double, 12th, Skipper, 13th, Composite, and then playing their jokers we have 14th, Connor, 15th, Berserk, and 16th, Bogorovsky. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do from the back of the grid. So we'll just wait now for the drivers to get their setups ready, and we'll be back ready for the race.
Welcome along to Las Vegas, and Formula One might be in the middle of the Nevada desert, but who'd have thought it? It's raining out there. Now, how will that affect the drivers as they race along the strip? 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour.
Well, welcome back everybody. As you can see, we have just started the formation lap. We will do the standard thing and just pop up the tyres. Pretty much a blanket of yellow, only Double deciding to go on the opposite strategy and the hards. So he'll be looking at going long. Everybody else opting for the medium tyres. So it's very interesting there. So Stewart leading the formation lap. We've had a quick look at the drivers table. We'll have a quick look at the constructors. McLaren leading the way with 121 points. 94 points to Red Bull. So we've got a gap there. What, 27 points? 27 points, yeah. And just a point behind we have Alpine on 93. So Alpine have a strong team this year with Stewart and Connor. So I think they will be up there pushing Hummer and Ralph for second place. Obviously McLaren still the team to catch at the moment. Aston Martin in fourth with 74 points. Ferrari in fifth with 54. Racing Bulls in sixth with 34 points. Sauber in 7th with 25, Haas with 24 in 8th. Expect to see that move up the table, so with Mikey and Wazza. As long as they can just finish some races, they will score some big points. Mercedes in 9th position with 11 points, and Williams at the rear of the field at the moment with 8 points. Just a reminder that tonight we have Bogorovsky, Berserk and Connor starting at the back of the field, all playing their jokers, so whatever position they gain in the race, they will get double points. Obviously need to get into the top 10 to score points, but if they do, it is doubled. Same with the fastest lap, we'll give you double there as well. So Stewart now coming around the final turn. So we've got 4 cars, Mikey, Kazingle, Daniel and Wazza already sitting there. We'll have very cold tyres for the start, obviously with a slight misdemeanor on the formation lap. So there is Bog now settling in at the back of the grid. It's quite weird because you start around the corner here. Okay, are we going to get a decent camera angle? We're not, so we're going to jump on board with Hammers just to see what is going on, and it is lights out and away we go. And a fairly decent start by everybody up at the front there. Here we go, back at the front. We can see Hammers up into third position. Everything behind. We've got a bit of carbon fibre flying there. I think Bog just sitting at the back, just waiting for this all to clear up a bit before getting involved. But a good getaway by Stewart. Hummer also staying there in second, now has Hammers all over the back of him. Ralph not having a great start, losing a position to Mikey, and Mikey up into fourth position, so see if he can show that qualifying pace in the race in the Haas. So anything further going on a bit further back, it all seems pretty good at the moment. So Berserk up, well, Connor up to 11th and Berserk up to 12th from the back of the grid. So Bog just being cautious and just waiting for it to come to him. Here we go, the top three have broken away, already 1.3 seconds clear of Mikey. Mikey coming under pressure now from Ralph, who is... oh, still behind him. He was quite close. I thought he'd gone for the overtake, so that proves me completely wrong. So let's jump back to the front. So Hammer's getting slightly detached from Stewart there, 0.6 of a second, as Hammer's all over the back of him. Mikey really could do with these three getting together and doing a bit of fighting just to get that gap back down. TDL Stewart taking the fastest lap of the race. Wazza and Jack and Daniel all exchanging positions there, so I think Kazingle losing 2 places. Wazza and Daniel up. Have we got any wind damage? It seems... no? Okay. So Bog's still just sitting at the back, just waiting at the moment. So back at the front, Hummer just keeping that gap. But Hammers must have made a small mistake because he has dropped off and he is just within DRS detection. One thing you do not want to do is drop out of that because you can just pull away. So powerful here, and Hammers is within that DRS. Mikey isn't, so we should look at Mikey dropping back here. It was 1.015 as we started this straight. Without the DRS, we'll see how much he loses. Not too bad, to be honest. Only lost a 10th. Perhaps he's running a lower wing setup, which does prove good for him if he can jump onto the back of this group just to within that second, which he is now. Hummer with the 34.706 fastest lap of the race. Bog making a move now on composite and up into 15th place. So up ahead, Berserk in 13th, starting from the back of the grid. And Connor working his way up into the points already, so up into 9th, scoring double, will get 4 points where he stands, but still a long way to go in this race. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few safety cars. So Mikey putting in a purple middle sector there, has now closed on to the back of Hammers, but Hammers has become detached from Hummer. So if these two, Wazza, Mikey and Hammers, can work together, they can draw this back in, although Hammers has already, I think he's used his ERS down there to keep within the detection zone. So top 4 all within ERS of each other now, and then Ralph become 2.4 seconds further back, and that is only going to get worse. So because of losing the tail end of that train, Bog has made it around double, and Composite also looking to make a move on double. Ooh. Double going. There we go, so Bog up into 14th. Just going to jump back to the front here because Mikey now putting in the fastest lap of the race. Looks like he has put his woes in qualifying behind him. Now settling down into a nice rhythm. Connor up into 8th place, makes the move on Wazza. Cracking race so far by Connor as they starting, where did he start? 14th, I think, and has worked his way up into 8th position. And now all over the back of Jack. We want to get past him as quick as he can. So looking good for Alpine at the moment. One driver out in front and the other one carving his way through the field for double points. I think Jack just nudging the barrier there is going to lose some momentum, which is going to make this move very, very easy for Connor. And it is indeed. Although Connor has depleted his ERS, he's flashing away there, so he's going to need to recover that. Daniel now making the move past Ralph at the end of the long straight. Ralph then deciding to make the move back again through the left, right, left. And reclaims 5th position. So Berserk dropping down the field a bit. I wonder if he made a small mistake, so dropping down into 15th after a strong sort of 4 or 5 places he made at the start of the race. Seems to be just dropping backwards a little bit, but as I say, still a long way to go. Only lap 5, 25 laps. So Hammer, oh, Hammer's past Hummer. I missed that as well. I miss everything interesting. You can always rely on me to miss an overtake. But Stewart 1.8 ahead, so I can only think that Hummer made a small mistake which brought me back into the clutches of Hammers and Little Mikey. So we're going to have a 3-way tussle here for 2nd position. Ideally, they need to work together to try and close that 1.8 second gap to Stewart, because that is only going to grow. So Hummer closing on Hammers and does take the lead. It's a 2nd position back, but here we go. You can see the gap tumbling a little bit further now. Mikey also making the move on Hammers, so Hammers losing 2 positions in one straight. But that is how it can be on this track. Connor still behind Kazingle, or was until I said that, and is now past Kazingle and up into 7th place. Wazza all over the back of Kazingle now, looking to follow Connor through. Jack going a little bit deep in there. It allows Wazza to look at coming around the inside, but unable to. Pulls out of it. Gets on the throttle a little bit early, but loses a bit of time to the car ahead. Okay, so Mikey now is going to go on the hunt for Hummer, but the gap at the front 2.1 seconds. So Stewart seemingly comfortable in front, but as we've seen before, only takes a safety car. And the whole field is bunched back up again. Okay, so I don't think we've had any pit stops yet. Nope, no pit stops. Everybody still on the medium tyres they started with, other than I think it was Double who went for the alternate strategy. So Mikey and Hummer battling away there. Mikey coming out a little bit worse off, just losing it coming out of the section there, and Hammers makes the move up into 3rd position. And we just saw Stewart disappearing around the bend there. Brother Adam and Bogorovsky battling away going into turn 1. Bogorovsky up the inside. And Brother Adam not going to give way to it. The two are side battling here. It's really good to see a little bit. Not sure if that was contact or whether he caught an inside, but he did reset to track, which is an absolute no-no. Double also having a spin there, but getting back on track the correct way. So back at the front, Stewart has absolutely checked out. We have a yellow. Why do we have a yellow? Why do we have a yellow? Or is that because of... Berserk has no... No, he does have front wing. What is going on here? Why do we have a virtual safety car? And virtual safety car has ended. So as quick as it came on, it has now gone off. Okay, so 4.6 seconds. What's happened to Mikey? Mikey has dropped 1.2 seconds off as he got damage. Just wonder if maybe in the... No, he's got all his front wings, so unless it's an invisible damage, so to speak, he is good, but he is closing back in again now. Wazza losing a couple of positions, but that's because he is into the pits and picks up a 10-second time penalty just for the hell of it. I was just about thinking that Wazza has done so well so far to get to lap number 8 without picking up a penalty, and then picks up a 10-second time penalty instead. So new front nose for him, fresh set of hard tyres, and he'll be back out into the race. And off he goes. Right, let's jump back out again. Why did we have a yellow there? No reason at all. Okay, so Mikey half a second now behind Hammers. Hammers has dropped slightly off the back of Hummer. But Stewart has, as I say, gone, checked out, 4.6 seconds ahead. And getting absolutely no TV time whatsoever. Mikey is closing. Looks like Wazza... Hammers is out of ERS or in recovery mode. I think it was the former. I think he is out and recovering now. The Bog up into 10th position, so made his way up into the points as well. So the Jokers so far are Connor in 8th, Bog in 10th, and Berserk, unfortunately, still at the back of the field. Was looking good for him, working his way through. But I think he's had a bit of an incident. Maybe gone for an early pit stop as well, so we could see him come back into play the later the race goes on. But he's certainly going to have older tyres than everybody else ahead of him. So Jack still in the battle with Ralph and Connor. I think Connor is probably sick to death of staring at the back of that Aston Martin. Connor looks like he might have lost a front right end plate there. We've got another yellow. Why have we got a yellow? That is one of the Dalbers. A composite, unfortunately. And a bit of a spin, and virtual safety car is out because of that, so everybody will be stuck to their Delta now. Please, let's not see any drive-throughs happen. So I'm not sure, are we still under safety car? Virtual safety car? Yeah, we must be. I think he almost hit his Delta there. But what we have missed is TGL Stewart taking this opportunity under virtual safety car to come into the pits. He'll want to get ahead of Skipper if he can. He does not want to get caught behind that Sauber. Oh, Stewart! Drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. Oh, shit, mate. Honestly, when I said it goes from, you had no luck. I didn't expect that. TGL Stewart does have a Twitch channel, but probably might not be wise to tune into that at the moment. But out of all this, it leads Hummer into the lead, 1.6 seconds ahead of Mikey, ahead of Hammers, and Mikey 1.1 further back. Oh, Stuart, honestly, mate, it was looking so good for you. I've done it myself at Las Vegas whilst leading under the virtual safety car. I got to drive through, and I feel your pain. So Bog down into 11. Did he hit? Let's have a quick look, see what tyres everybody is on now. Still got the top 5 not pitting on the mediums. Stuart has that drive-through penalty that he needs to serve. And then we have from Connor downwards all on new, or pretty new hard tyres other than Double who started on it. So Bog in 11th, but no longer needs to make a pit stop. Just going to get the pens up actually, just so we can see who's got what. So did Stuart get a drive through? It's not saying he's got a drive through. Okay, right, we'll have a look at that one later, but if not, great. Has his teammate right behind him now, so these two really could work together to push themselves up the field and look at trying to get a 1-2. Everybody ahead of them has got to pit. I think Connor's pitted. Yeah, Connor's pitted, so no need for him to pit. So yeah, if these two can work together, everybody in front does need to pit. They can pick up a really good finish. So Alpine currently in 3rd position in the Constructors. Would certainly be a big step to dragging them towards the front. So Hammers into the pits, Hummer into the pits, Daniel into the pits. Hammer's been jumped, unless he had a penalty to serve, but he's had a poor pit stop, and Hammers has now leapfrogged him, and Hammers coming out just ahead of Connor, splitting the Alpines there, but he will have colder tyres, so Connor will need to look at making the move here as quick as he possibly can. Looking up the inside, no, I think he will probably want to get on before the straight. Doesn't want his teammate to get too far ahead of him. And this, remember, is a battle really for the lead of the race. And Connor looking to score double points. He'd love a win. 25 points, double it, 50 points. And we have a safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Who is out? Double is out. So those hard tyres not hanging on long enough for him. Where is he out? Must have been down here. I think it must have been, yeah, round about that corner. So Double out of the race, so our first retirement. But what this does do is put the front two in a really good position now, because they can pit under the safety car, minimise the time loss, and see if they can get themselves back out ahead of Stuart, Hammers and Connor. We go Mikey coming in as we expect, Ralph as well coming in. It's Stewart, so let's have a look. I think Stewart's going to regain. Oh, Mikey had front wing damage as well, so an ideal opportunity for him to change it. But look how far he's dropping down to 8th position. So lost out there rather than gained under the safety car. Didn't realise didn't realise he was he had front wing damage as well. So Wazza into the pits. We'll serve that 10-second stop-go penalty. Nice new set of fresh hard tyres to complete the last 12 laps of the or medium, sorry, to replace the to complete the last 12 laps of the race. They will see him there without too much of a problem. So Stewart back in the lead. I'm sure I saw it say that he had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, but it hasn't come up. And if he served it, I didn't see it, and he's got himself back to the front. So we'll have a quick look at the tyres just to see everybody on the hards except for Wazza, who's on those fresh mediums, but we'll take him to the end of the race. Going to be a bit worn for the last couple of laps, but there's nothing to say it's not going to be another safety car. And strap on a set of softs. But Hammer's in second, so 2 lap fresher tyres than Stewart. So whether that will play any part towards the end of the race. But Alpine's currently in 1st and 3rd position, so a cracking result for them if it stays like it. Red Bull, after looking so strong for parts of it, currently in 5th and 7th, so still not out of it, but not going to be easy to fight their way past these drivers in front. And if they do drop out of that DRS zone, it is going to be extremely difficult. So safety car will stay out for another lap. And so Stewart leading the Grand Prix from Hammers, Connor in 3rd, but Daniel in 4th, Hummer in 5th, Kazingle in 6th with Ralph in 7th. Mikey dropping down to 8th after getting a new front wing, but still probably got a cheap pit stop under the safety car. They're still in it in 8th. Bog recovering from the back of the grid, playing his joker up into 9th position. Skipper currently in 10th in the Sauber. And we've got Scully, Berserk, Brother Adam, Wazza and Composite for the remaining places. No safety car will be in this lap. There's no need for it to stay out any longer. The field is bunched up. The damage has been cleared away, so we will be free to go racing. Everybody will have charged up their ERS, so we'll have a nice fresh dosage of boost when the safety car does come in. Look at the calendar whilst we are waiting. As you can see, we are at round number 5, Las Vegas. Hammer's winning the last 3 races on the spin. He'll look at extending that today if he can. Next week we've got the mystery track, so it's our first ever one. It will be decided via a Wheel of Fortune spin. What we'll do is we'll have all the tracks on there. Spin the wheel on whichever one comes up, we will be racing on. So no practice. No insider knowledge, because it is literally going to be a live Wheel of Fortune spin. So yeah, we'll see how we get on next week. But anyway, the safety car is coming into the pits, so TGL Stewart will become the pace car. Jack picking up a 10-second time penalty for a collision with Hummer. So if he doesn't serve that and it was unjust, there is possibility it can be. And he's picked up another 10 seconds for ignoring a yellow flag. Jack coming into the pits. Right, okay, let's get back to the front here. So Stewart getting a good jump, putting out nearly a second on Hammers. Connor now itching to get past Hammers. Has such a good drive up the inside down this straight. Is he going to be able to do it? They are pulling side by side. Is anyone going to back out? Oh, yes, it looks like Connor deciding he is going to live another day and going to do that on another time. But his teammate 1.5 seconds up the road, and unfortunately Connor fighting now is starting to lose. Was that body parts he was losing, or? Oh no, don't tell me, Connor. Connor's lost his front wing. Oh, Connor. Oh shit! Not quite sure what happened there. Looked like Connor was unable to stop. Got a little bit sandwiched, and we had quite a bit of collision there. Hammers coming off. Worse for wear with right front wing damage. Bog up into 9th position now. Is Hammers going to pit, or is he going to continue? DRS now enabled. We have somebody pitting a bit further back. That is going to be Connor. And Connor does come in for a new front wing. So I'm not sure what damage happened there to cause Connor to lose his front wing. Unfortunate for him after looking so good. But his teammate 3.5 seconds ahead of Hummer and Ralph Albers. So after saying that, you know, the Red Bull still in it but had a lot to do, all of a sudden they find themselves into 2nd and 3rd position. Little Mikey in 4th with Hammers just behind, but Hammers does now have end plate damage. So that McLaren is not going to be as nice handling as it was 5 minutes ago. But still in the race. Obviously, if we get another safety car, potentially he could come in and fix that. Bogorowski in 8th behind Skipper there. Everybody running out of ERS here. Hammers is starting to struggle a bit, I think, because of that broken wing. Losing a position to Daniel there, and now losing a position to Skipper. So yeah, I think Hammers just struggling to get the traction now coming out of the corners. Okay, so right, Ralph and Hummer, so 2nd and 3rd. Hummer picking up a penalty. So all his teammates got to do is stick with him, but they are 2.6 seconds clear of the next group headed by Mikey. And he's managed to pull out 1.2 on Daniel as well, so broken the DRS detection point. But then Daniel has a gaggle of cars behind him. Berserk, I've noticed, recovering to 10th after being dead last a few laps ago. So it just goes to prove so much can change very, very quickly. So just the one retirement so far, double. Unfortunate retirement for him. We've had one safety car and I think 2 or 3 virtual safety cars. 8 laps to go, plus the one that we are currently on. But Stewart has been a class apart today, to be honest with you. He's shown very, very good pace and consistency. Hammers making his way past Skipper. Oh, Daniel must have made a mistake. Daniel dropping a couple of positions there, but looking to get that straight back off of Skipper, which is then got Bog sniffing around just behind. So Bog's not going to ever force a position. He'll just be there and wait for you to fuck up, basically. And then he will take the position from you. So it's still Mikey in fourth, just going through the picture now. So Hammer's 2.6 seconds he has dropped because of that damage. It doesn't look like he's going to make it 4 wins in a row. So Scully hanging on to the back of this as well. Jack picking up another penalty. I think he's probably had enough at this point. Stuart 3.3 seconds clear. They're keeping that gap pretty static, sort of going between 3.3, 3.6, but looks pretty comfortable. DRS, he's being managed very well, so he's got that available should someone start to close on him. I'm sure he can put a bit of a boost and get a fastest lap of the race if he needs to. Bogorowski looking for a move up the inside of Skipper, and does indeed, and makes it stick. And Bog up into 7th place. Now he'll be going on the hunt of Daniel just ahead, who's looking to make a move on Hammers. I think that move has been done pretty easily. Hammers and Bog side by side. Hammers not putting up too much fight there, letting his teammate go as he doesn't have wing damage. So Bog up into 6th, Daniel up into 5th position. Bazar at the back of the grid, or back of the field, currently 15th. And Jack in 14th, not been good for them today. Connor in 13th, it was looking so good and it went so wrong within a couple of corners for him. So he was battling for the lead, to be honest with you, for the win. Was sitting in 3rd position. Not quite sure what happened, where the contact came from, but unfortunately losing his front wing. Then into the next corner was, I mean, it was a part of being unable to stop, but also I think he got sandwiched and it just all went completely wrong in front. But yeah, unfortunately dropping down into 13th on his Joker day. Berserk up into 10th, also playing his Joker, so he has recovered back into the points, but Bog making a move up the inside of Daniel there, so Bog up into 5th position. We've got a big gap now of 6 seconds to Mikey. Mikey is closing in on the back of those Red Bulls though, and if he could get within that second, he has a great opportunity of getting himself onto the podium. I think the race win might be a little bit out of reach, but depends on if Stuart's tyres do drop off or if he makes a small mistake, everybody could be back in it again. But Mikey is closing onto the back of Ralph, and to be honest made that look very easy. So Mikey through and up into the podium position of 3rd, but a 1.8 second gap to Hummer that he needs to close down. And we'll have Ralph obviously fighting like mad to try and get that podium position back. But you have to think Hummer just in front, although 1.7 seconds up the road, does have a 3-second time penalty. Pretty sure it's 3. Let's have a look. Yeah, 3-second time penalty. Ralph retaking the position from Mikey there. I can see this chopping and changing a couple of times, but this is really, as long as they don't fight too much, otherwise they could drop themselves 3 seconds behind Hummer, and Hummer could hold on to that second place. If these two could work together, they would be guaranteed a podium. 2.3 second gap now. Mikey all over the back. A bit further back, Bog stayed ahead of Daniel. Just want to keep an eye on both battles going on here, but Mikey is now in the slipstream of Ralph and goes for the move around the outside. The guy just a little bit of ERS, but mainly using DRS for that. Gap is now 2 seconds to Hummer. Lost the back end a little bit there, Mikey, but managed to gather it and keep the position. But 2.2 seconds is the gap now to Hummer. He needs to keep that under the 3 seconds, and then he will be claiming second position. But Stewart has gone composite, losing a position to Connor. So Connor picking up a position there. Needs, what's he got, 9 seconds? 9-10 seconds he needs to make up to get himself into the points, but as I say, anything can happen. He is penalty free. We only have 2 drivers with penalties, which is Hummer currently in second position, and Jack down in 14th with 13 seconds of penalties. Hummer stretching that gap now, 2.7 down to 2.5, 2.4. Little Mikey does not want to let that gap between Hummer and Mikey get down to, well, that's 2.9. Doesn't want that to get past 3 seconds. But Stewart is being closed in. That's 1.1 seconds he has lost on the last lap and a half. I think we could see the standard switch here on the start-finish line, are we? No, Ralph did not get past, so Mikey's staying ahead but has dropped. He's just outside that 3 second window. A bit further back, Daniel and Bog. So Bog just almost managed to eke out that 1 second there. It's 9/10. It's tantalisingly balanced. Daniel will be using ERS to get himself back within that. He cannot afford to lose it because Bog will be gone. Hammer's doing very well, holding on to 7th place there, considering he has front wing damage. I think the more it goes on, the more he'll get comfortable with it. You might see him make another couple of places up, but I think his run of victories is coming to an end today. We're going to see someone else on the top step of the podium. Currently looking like TGL Stewart, but Hummer has not given up yet. Although 2.3 behind, needs to get past Stewart and then clear him by a further 3 seconds because of that penalty. Mikey hanging on to 3rd place, just ahead of Ralph, and both of those about 2.7, 2.8 seconds behind Hummer with the 3 second penalty. So it could still be a podium for the pair of them. But don't want to let that gap get any bigger than it is. Hammers, speaking of the devil, has now made a position on Daniel up into 6th position. There will be the rear gunner for his teammate, 2.5 second gap to him. So looking comfortable for Bogarowski. Skipper having another good race. So he's one of our oldest members and been here with us pretty much since the start, Skipper, but always Mr. Reliable. Him and Composite turn up week in, week out, and racing both Division 1 and Division 2. So good to see Skipper picking up a couple of points there, or 4 points maybe. Teammate obviously down in 13th, so not looking brilliant there. Ralph and Mikey exchanging positions again. Won the penultimate lap, missed that as well. That's gone very, very quickly. But the gap at run 2.3 seconds, so that's pretty much stabilized. Hummer and Ralph separated by 3.4 seconds now, so Hummer in a position to hold on to second place in the race and being second place in the championship as well. Why do we have a yellow? Why do we have yellow? Can't see anything spun on the map. Daniel making the move back past Hammers. So I think Hammers has the speed, obviously down the start or down the main straight here, whence he has the DRS, obviously no front wing, so it does make him a little bit quicker as a bit DRS. Yeah, we've got Skipper just behind, it opens up his DRS, so we should see him work his way back past Daniel here. But here is Brother Adam and Scully exchanging positions. So Scully dropping down into 10th position. If he can stay there, he'll still pick up a point. It'll be a good run for him. But this is where the main battling is at the front. Hummer has tumbled that gap down to 1.6 seconds, but I think it is a matter of Stewart is just turning it off ever so slightly. Doesn't need to put too much stress into this last lap. But Hummer has closed that gap down significantly and opened it up to Mikey as well. So I'm not sure if it's the fact that Stewart is going slow or not, but Ralph must have made a mistake, has lost his front right end plate, moving Bog up into 4th place. So that is thrown away the possibility of a podium for Ralph. Unfortunately, he'll want to keep going, obviously, on the last lap of the race anyway. So TGL Stewart coming up to lap Kazingle. Unfortunate day for him. But Stewart now into the left-hander, hangs Hummer just behind him. But as I say, with that 3-second penalty, it's not going to make much difference now. So Stewart is looking like it is going to be a bit of a more luck tonight and comes across to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Hummer coming home in second. Mikey is going to take 3rd place. Bogorowski is going to come home in 4th position. A good recovery from him from the back of the grid after taking his joker. Ralph is going to come home in 5th and Hammer in 6th. 7th is going to go to Daniel. 8th to Skipper. 9th to Brother Adam, and Scully picking up the final point in 10th place. Connor recovering to 11th position after that incident. But not picking up any points or any double points on his joker. The same for Berserk, good recovery for 12th. Composite will finish in 13th. Wazza will come home eventually in 14th, and Jack has already parked the car, got out and said, I've had enough of this game. Sparking away, his front wheel has come off. I think he crashed before the line there. So Wazza will come around and also loses a little bit of momentum and crashes into the wall there. So Stewart, Hummer and Mikey are our podium for today. Stewart had a completely dominant race, I have to admit, as they looked fast from the offset in qualifying, and then in the race pretty much just disappeared. As it was weird because I'm sure I saw it come up to say that he had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, but he didn't seem to get it. So driver of the day, they're going to Bogorowski as well for recovery from the back of the grid. So we just see Stewart there celebrating on the podium, spraying his champagne. But good drive from Hummer and little Mikey as well. Okay, so looking at the results, we have Stuart taking the win, Hummer in second, Little Mikey in third, Bogrovsky in fourth, fifth going to Ralph, 6-2 Hammers, so seventh Daniel, eighth Skipper, ninth Brother Adam, Scully in 10th, 11th going to Connor Berserk in 12th, Composite 13th, 14th Wazza, 15th a lap down to Kazingle, and the only non-finisher was unfortunately double. So it brings to a close the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We will be back next week, as I'm not quite sure where from, because it is a mystery track, so we'll have to wait and see what crops up. But please make sure to join us next week. We'll have as I say, we'll have the draw first and then the race. We'll be doing the same for Division 1, which will be next Wednesday. So I hope you've enjoyed yourselves tonight. Certainly been some good racing there. I've had a few incidents, so we'll see some people discussing that within the Discord server. Might see some reports coming in, but overall a pretty good race. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good week.